think
Okay.
2 years ago, we invited you for a panel discussion on the future of security. You know, never have we imagined that today we'll be so hard hit by an invisible enemy. Now, I've been doing a bit of research, you know, watching some of your videos, recent videos. You spoke greatly about how ASEAN needs to come together to fight this crisis together. But, you know, before I go into that, I just want to find out from you, you know, what are the lessons that countries must hit out of this COVID-19?
Well, different countries have different perspectives, but I think that we have a common problem. A pandemic like coronavirus affects everyone, and across countries, but also within countries, there's nowhere to hide really, and nowhere to run. You know, you can run all you want, but the virus can still get to you. So this is something I think that the humanity should take as a common concern, common enemy in a way. That's one thing I think we've learned, that you know, even though borders have come up in some ways, but there's no borders for this coronavirus. In addition, we also have learned how, you know, learning by doing is important. The virus has affected different countries, different peoples in different ways, but we can see different responses. There have been lockdowns. You know, more than half of humanity of the planet has been under some kind of lockdown, very stringent. We've never seen anything like this. So I think the second reason is that, you know, on the one hand, it affects us all. Second, we need to find ways to respond together. And you can see that countries have put up borders because they want to have control. They want to have, they want to take care of themselves because they don't want infections from other countries, from abroad. But eventually, borders will still have to come down in some ways, but maybe not as all the way down as before. But, you know, travel has been severely restricted. Airlines, airports have, you know, have gone way down. I mean, empty, grounded. But eventually, people will take to the air again. So we have to find ways of dealing with this together. I think we can see that international institutions like the WHO have to step up a bit more. WHO on the one hand for the public health crisis, the IMF, I think maybe for the financial system and the global economy. I think we don't have any lender of last resort. All the economies of the world will see some challenges, lower growth, or even in most cases, severe economic contractions. So, you know, this is negative growth rates we will see in many parts, most of the world, in fact. So we have to find
What's the time frame that you would give for this economic downturn?
Well,
how long would it last?
By past standards, and we don't have a direct standard to draw from, we can see 1997, 1998 financial crisis in Asia, Asian financial crisis that lasted for 2-3 years. And then by 2000 or so, from 1997, 1998, we saw some recovery. And 2008, 2009, very severe for a lot of Western economies. And that has long-term effects. So for this one, I think we'll see even worse than before. So the next couple of years, for sure, we will see devastating economic impacts. And then beyond that, you know, we might not see a huge, you know, not a V shape, maybe a U, maybe a longer term, medium term economic damages, and maybe 2 or 3 years before we can see some kind of a upward trajectory and recovery. And it might not be like before, Sean. It might not be like, you know, a V shape or U shape or even W. It might be kind of a, you know, deep contraction, some upward trajectory, some upward recovery, but not complete, not all the way to pre-COVID. It will take some more years before that. And along the way, some industry, there'll be a lot of internal shocks. Some industries will never be the same. Like I'm thinking, you know, the industries that are sensitive to social contact, physical contact, like hotels, airlines, the bookings, the so-called beach, the bookings, the entertainment, like sports, stadiums, concerts, and then the airports, airlines, the casinos might be very different. The cruises, might never be the same again.
And Thailand being, a huge tourism country would be badly hit.
12% of Thai GDP is from tourism sector. So this is going to be deep impact for Thai economy for sure. We're talking about contraction of upwards to 10%. Bank of Thailand says 5.3, IMF says 6.7, but some independent economists are saying maybe up to 10% contraction negative. That's very deep. So we can only take this, Sean, as an opportunity for reforms. So, there's a saying in economics that, don't let a crisis go to waste. Basically, we will have a crisis, economic crisis. It will be adverse, it will be deep, it will be dire. But Thailand has an opportunity to also undertake structural reforms of its economy, wholesale restructuring of this economy. And one area certainly would be tourism. Maybe Thailand doesn't have to rely so much on the quantity and focus more on the quality. Maybe wellness tourism, maybe medical tourism. We don't need 36 million visitors. We need maybe a lot less, but maybe higher quality. So that's the kind of restructuring that Thailand can be thinking about.